One of the biggest surprises this summer was the massive success of the Barbie movie. However, something even more surprising is no one is picking up that this movie isn't about Barbie, but
Not
a
quite.
famous Austrian painter. And before we
It's
break this
it's
down, okay, hit this like button. It's
it's
about to
true.
get spicy in here.
Oh, yeah, spicy and real. This is a fact check true on this one. You guys, I already did it for you. If the press will try to do it later, we're about to tell you what's up.
So Barbie basically is in her own little utopia, kind of blissful ignorance about everything that's going on. But then her eyes are woken up by the scars of World War One, aka Weird Barbie. And this is showing you everything that's wrong, or at least making her question everything around her, the status quo, and forces Barbie to leave the blissful ignorance and start questioning the real world, which she goes out and meets who's really running the show. And I'm just connecting dots here. I'm not saying that this Barbie movie is right. I'm not saying
We don't agree with it.
no, I don't agree with it at all. I'm not saying the Austrian painter is right. I'm just saying this is what this movie clearly is about.
The main idea here behind this, and I'm just going to say it right now, the Kens in this movie, the Ken class, they are the Jews. The Barbies, all the Barbies, the Barbie class, I should say, goes through this movie and uses conspiracy theory and emotional manipulation on the populace as a whole in order to turn both the Kens against each other and everybody against the Kens as if they're subhuman or a lower class of people. And that one's obvious. Like, that is for sure true. But when you dig a little bit deeper, like Don's talking about here, you see the whole movie's actually an allegory for Uncle A, our favorite Austrian painter. Well, or least favorite, I guess.
Yeah, depending on which way you're looking
about
at the ranking. Well, but basically, you're saying the Kens, right? That is also looped in with the patriarchy. It's just men. Men are the people that are oppressing the Barbies, the whatever you want to call the desired class in Barbie's eyes. Because when she goes out there, she starts learning not only is that other world ran by it, but then her actual, what do you want to say, regime is being controlled by a hierarchy of gray-suited patriarchal individuals, right? Who are ruling it from the top down. And then as Barbie tries to, like, I don't know, find some, like, who am I? A girl literally calls her a fascist. And that's when it clicks for
Yeah,
Barbie.
a fascist. They say it. They state it. It's right in front of our faces. It's not hidden at all in that moment. It's telling us exactly what the movie's about. And I mean, honestly, I get it because general audiences might not pick up on this stuff. We're especially attuned to the Austrian painter and his political party of the 30s and 40s. We're history buffs, okay? But yeah, the average audience might not. So I'm kind of glad they did spill it out for us right there. But it's true, dude. This everything about it. You know, why don't you go into a little bit of the specifics?
So then she comes back, right? So after Barbie learns about how everything's being ran, she basically wants to just tell everybody from her hometown, people around her. This basically closely aligns with, you know, now that the Austrian painter has joined his party, he's now going to try to
he's found his place.
He's going to try to convert everybody to his ideology. So she goes back there and she realizes, look at all these people, they're being controlled by the patriarchy now, right? They're all whatever bimbos to Ken,
aka the Jatriarchy.
Jatriarchy. And she tries to explain it to them, and then no one wants to listen, and she's basically sent to isolation because she's given up. And this very closely aligns with when the Austrian painter is sent to jail for 5 years, and alone in his cell he writes a book. And in Barbie, when she's isolated, a girl
with the
comes
weird
up to her.
Barbie. She's isolated in weird Barbie's house with
weird Barbie.
The humans. Yep.
The mom, who came from the real world where, you know, Barbie had some self-reflection, then outlines to Barbie her struggle. Literally her struggle.
And there it is.
As a woman. And from there, the manifesto of Barbie is born, and they go down and they start radicalizing each woman, you know, pulling them aside. Starts to gain popularity with the intellectual class of, you know, the politicians and the scientist Barbies, right?
And once they have enough power,
and once they have enough power, they manipulate people around them, or, you know, the Kens around them.
They stage a false flag operation. They do. They do. That's exactly what they do. They turn these guys against each other because everybody now believes in the conspiracy. Even the Ken class themselves believe in it. It's crazy. And during this time, I mean, we know what happens in the movie. You guys have all seen it. During this time, when they are turning the Kens against each other, they host an election, or not even an election. What is it? It's a vote to overturn the Constitution to say what they want it to say. And while the Kens are distracted, so that they can get exactly what they want pushed through, and the Kens don't get a say at all, which is just such a funny contrast. And this isn't necessarily having to do with the Austrian painter here, but just to show the contrast between a proper democratic society and like an authoritarian fascist society. The Kens actually had this election planned, and they gave Barbies 48 hours to prep for it. They said, we're going to hold an election in 48 hours. Everybody was going to get to vote. And as far as I could tell, it's not like the Barbies were severely outnumbered by the Kens. If anything, it was the reverse. So it's like when the Barbies go and try to manipulate like this, it's insane. It's complete voter suppression of an entire class. The Ken class, the Gen class, the Jew class. It's exactly what it is.
In the marketplace of ideas, the Ken the Kendom, the Ken ideas were winning, right? They were just telling the women, hey, dude, this rules being a man, right? The patriarchy rules. And they're like, yeah, it actually is pretty cool. Yeah. And it very similar lines with what we had in, was it right before the Weimar Republic fell down? You know, you had the like leaders of industries and the most intellectual people, scientists were coming from Germany. Germany was like the pinnacle of human civilization at that point, you know, but then you have, somebody had to come in and topple it all down with their plans. So I don't know.
Yep.
This is
Tear her
so
down.
closely aligned with Barbie. It makes me. This has to be an actual. This had to be done on purpose.
Like, I think it's done on purpose for sure, but it's like, dude, this is where it's so weird because the type of people that are making this movie and are pushing like the overt agenda of the movie, they would seemingly be against this kind of thing. But now that we kind of peel away the layers and see into the underbelly, you kind of see they're one and the same. So this should be eye-opening for everybody, I think, here, and maybe think twice before you purchase a Barbie for your child.
All right, well, let us know what you think. Is Barbie actually the Austrian painter in pink and heels? Comment down below. Let us know what you think, and smash that like button, like the Austrian painter wanted to smash the patriarchy in his own world. If you know what I'm saying.